right, and our players are ready to go. So let's head down to the action. We have got round 5, Sunyveil versus chickenArise.
So Sunyveil, I think, looking about as reasonable of a keep as a reasonable keep gets. Hojin, Huntress, Justice Etching, can't complain.
Yeah, not too bad. This seems like a keeper for Sunny. All right, on the other side of things, it looks like chickenArise is on that Feln discard deck. So they've got 2 power, a Dark Water Vines, a 2-face Tome of Heroes Annihilate, and Strange Broker. We'll have to see. As I mentioned earlier, the Misplay podcast today had both Stormguard 798 as well as a couple members of We Stream Games. And I know Stormguards was talking about bringing this as a counter. Actually, both teams were talking about bringing this as a counter to Hurukira, sort of 2 different approaches. Team Eternal Journey brought this Feln discard deck as a way to counter the Kira deck, and We Stream Games brought their Xenon deck as a way to counter it with different choices in there, different deck choices focused specifically on Kira. So we'll see here in this matchup against Sunyveil. Now, Sunyveil obviously is a Worlds player, extremely talented, but we'll see how this matchup plays out to see if the Feln discard deck is actually how good, strong of a matchup it is against Kira. The tough thing when you play like meta matchups like that, Ilya, is that Kira's the type of deck that just, they'll have some hands that just beat you no matter what you do. Like the deck is just so powerful. There's sometimes you're just going to be beat regardless of what you do. So it's always, I always hesitate to sort of over meta because you might just lose a bunch of games and then you're playing a deck that is weaker against some other decks. And then what are you really doing at that point? Are you really accomplishing anything?
Right. And then there's also the fact that how are you collecting your data as to, the strength of Hurukira or Elysian? Like, if you're playing against someone that isn't well practiced on the deck, you are getting completely incorrect results as opposed to playing against Sunny on Hurukira or Doc on Elysian. That feedback will be completely different. So we've already seen the Felon discard deck not live up to billing by going down against a Kira deck. And we'll have to see how this matchup goes. But when you're playing against these decks that take talented pilots to really get all the mileage from them, then I do have to question, the validity of bringing uh, uh, you know, these unexpected brews to target them. Because are you even, targeting, the matchup as well as you think you're targeting?
All right, here we see that Dark Water Vines going in there. Milling some cards, and here comes an exploit. Sunny tapped out, so take whatever you want here, either the Huntress or the Etchings.
I think I take the Etchings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
chickenArise agrees with you. Chicken's going to take that Etchings. And then Akira off the top for Sunny. Can't discard the top of the deck. That's what they say.
Yep. Top decks have protection from discard spells.
Top decks have protection from discard. That's right.
But that Kira has no spells to go with her, so she has to stay in the hand for a little while. This Hojin just has free reign to attack in.
Yeah, and there's that Hojin. Going to attack in, going to gain 4 follow-up with a Huntress. Yeah, and the Huntress is going to get that boost too. That's going to become a 6/4 Huntress thanks to that. Now, of course, the Vines has regen, so it doesn't really care about that attack, but popping that regen now, just a vanilla, relatively vanilla 2/4 there. All right, so you've got Annihilate, Tome of Horrors, Two-Face, Strange Broker, and a second copy of Dark Water Vines for chickenArise in hand. Here comes that second Dark Water Vines. And then a Bubble Shield. I mean, if your hand's going to get ripped apart and then you top deck Kira into Bubble Shield, you got to be pretty happy with that one.
Oh, that's for sure.
I think you probably just Kira into Justice Symbol with Bubble Shield up, right?
Absolutely. There are no other plays here. Treasure Trove should be like the last card you ever cast because imagine playing any of your cards except they cost two more. That's
True.
clearly not something you want to do. So the attack with the Huntress is free. The double block I think only has double block only has free attack, so that even can't even kill the Huntress. But here's the Annihilate.
All right, the
On
Annihilate
Trojan.
going after the Hojin. Okay. Irv Blitz, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for being here tonight, hanging out with us on this sweet Tuesday night. Get to see some great Eternal action here this evening.
So I don't think I burned the bubble shield here. Like,
Yeah, Sunny agrees
yeah,
with you. Just going to let it go. Unfortunately, you lose both your units, but I think that's probably
sure, but
okay. And you just Kira
yeah,
with Justice
they
Symbol to
already
keep a
served
bubble
their purpose.
shield. Yeah. There it is. That Kira now also at 6 Justice already for that Kira. So it does have the +2/+2 endurance plus that bubble shield. Here comes Tome of Horrors from Chicken. So if you don't know Tome of Horrors, it is a relic that says when one of your units deals damage, the enemy player discards that many cards to the top of their deck. Once per turn, you may pay 4 to draw the top card of the enemy player's deck. So one of the thoughts here is that the Huru deck runs through a ton of cards, and you can really take advantage of that synergy with them. All right, power. Now the Silverblade Intrusion's pretty good for Sunny. That's gonna come up
Does
here.
kick at this Two Face.
Eat the Two Face, draw a card. Ooh, there's a good one. That Ikaria, and you get the Denouncer off of it. Now, unfortunately, both these power are depleted, so can't play out the Ikaria. And now you're out of protection. Now the Kira still has the Aegis, but you are a little bit out of protection here now. Gonna draw the top card. I'm gonna draw a crest. Yeah,
Then
draw your
let
power off the top of your deck, and then let Sunny draw an intrusion.
so Kira fully leveled.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Chicken now. We'll have to see if they can somehow turn this into a mill plan. But 49 cards left still for Chicken, and both cards drawn off the top were power. Exploit.
Yeah, hate to
Looking
see
at
it
exploit
happen.
off the top. I don't think you can keep exploit here though. Yeah, I can toss it to the bottom. It seems to me that Chicken is not winning it through combat now. So if you're gonna try to
No,
go for a mill plan, or you draw a bunch of cards and you're chump blocking, but you're not winning through combat here. So let's see. And this Silver Intrusion gonna blow up this double block.
and draw a card. I mean,
Card.
your opponent has two cards in hand and just ripped a Silver Blade Intrusion a couple turns ago. They most likely don't have it, so you got to make them have it, and then they have it and can't beat it. So,
Yeah. I don't think there's anything Chicken do here. Now Savage Incursion would be the card to do it. Only at 17 cards in the void though, unfortunately.
that won't do it.
And that's not gonna do it. With
If
20,
Savage Incursion
with 20
with
that may
20
have been a game, but not with this one.
nope, nope. If Savage Incursion can't do it on 5, uh, you're not a happy camper. Urukira doesn't really have a lot of cards in its deck that deal cleanly with in the mirror, just as a rip it and cast it. It's always about these bunches of punches, and just drawing Kira's cards one at a time for 4 power, and not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it. Yep, and Sunnyvale's gonna take it. Hurukira, too powerful. So I think what we've seen tonight is Elysian is very good and Hurukira is very good, even when you know about it and even when you try to hate on it. I'm a little surprised we didn't see as much Sling here tonight. There's a couple players that brought it, but haven't seen too much about it. But yeah, there we go. These two cards, as a surprise to no one, these two decks are quite good. Now, maybe there's some secret tech that the teams are working on to try to game for the open and maybe try to address these decks. But if you're looking at that open and you're thinking about what decks are you going to see, be ready for people to bring Hurukira and be ready for people to bring Elysian Spells, because those two decks are very, very powerful.
So we have had 4 slings tonight: Captain Teambro, Pleasing Sky 4, TCG Cthulhu, and Carnage. Uh, do you know their combined record?
I will take a look. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I will take a look. While we're headed down, let's head down to game 2 while they're getting started, and then we'll take a look there. Make sure our players know they are good to go. I will check out their records though, because I would be interested to see how Sling has performed this evening.
So Sunyveil looking at an amazing hand, just a symbol, Dovid on two, Kira or Icario with Levitate on three, and you know, power for turn four even with a pair of insignias down the stretch. This is Urukira's dream. So, uh, out comes Janitor Dovid, I have to imagine. No, Sunnyvale electing to develop Icaria over Janitor Dovid.
Well, you're right, Ilya. I just added it up. The record so far for the 4 Sling players are 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and 2-2. So
Oof,
not really a great showing for Sling tonight. I don't know if that's just the matchups or
no.
what, but yeah, not the best showing for those. I don't know. I'd have to do a more deep dive to see if any of them went up against Elysian here tonight. But yeah, not the greatest showing of those Sling decks tonight. After
Oh,
Pleasing Sky 4 took it to a win in challenge number
yep.
1. Exploit here for Chicken.
The deck's named Huru Kira.
Think it's Kira.
Yeah.
Think you take that, Kira. I mean, janitor Dovid, the janitor himself is annoying, but you gotta take that Kira. And here's Kira number 5 off the top of the deck for Sunyveil here, named Huru Envoy.
Yep. But in the
But
meantime,
instead, just
Icaria
gonna
comes
ramp
to
up
ramp.
at Ikaria. Hit for 1, but let's get that ramp while you have the opportunity to do so. Now, Chicken has Fell Rock in hand. No way to discard it, but they do have that Fell Rock in hand if they can get some value going here. Instead, just going to attack with 2, and they have a Smuggler. They're going to pass that Smuggler, presumably get something from the market. Not sure what the best option is here, though. Permafrost, Hail. I wonder if Hailstorm. No, In Cold Blood. They're just going to go for the In Cold Blood. Ooh, Bubble
Ugh,
Shield, though. The draw. Oh, this is going to hurt.
that's gonna be a blowout.
This is gonna feel real bad for Chicken. When Chicken goes for this In Cold Blood, I mean, maybe you don't go for it, but I don't see how you're winning the game if you don't go for it. At least it's on
And
the
yeah,
Ikaria. Yeah. Draw 2 cards off of the Levitate, and now let's hit the Bubble Shield. Protect that Ikaria. Cancel out that In Cold Blood. Muggler off the top after drawing a Hojin and an Ikaria. Whew. There's a lot of good things in Sunny's hand.
yep. Took Akira, don't need Akira.
Yeah, that's
So just smashing for four, and then you know, second Icaria, and then do you even ramp her or immediately, or do you just develop any one of those other threats?
yeah. Good ramp, or you just play out other threats. I mean, I guess the only thing missing from Sunny's hand is no targeted spells, no protection now, nothing else to play on Envoy. But I think that's okay.
Do we hit
Miss
the Huntress? No,
oh,
Gender W does not.
also missed on the janitor and no protection spells, but gonna go to the market with the smuggler. Get an Aegis on it, and let's draw Corviat Palace. And I'll tell you what, when you're ahead on board and you can play out a Corviat Palace, it's very, very difficult for your opponent to do anything.
Yep. So out comes Corvette Palace,
Yeah, and
and
Sunnyvale is just going to take that one 2-1. So congratulations, Sunnyvale, on taking